In this effect, a spectator's first randomly selected card somehow reveals the exact position of their second random selection. This is astonishing. This is CoachTrick. Today's effect is ingenious. It seems totally impossible, yet it's super easy to perform. As ever, be sure to join us to the end and help us reflect on the wider benefits that learning magic can bring for you. Okay, let's do the impossible. Grab a deck and let's go. Okay, as ever, let's kickstart then by taking a look at the effect itself. This is going to be a card location amongst the most random of conditions. And you're going to start just by asking the spectator to cut the deck into approximately 2. It's a totally free choice. And then to mark that position with an upturned card like so. You will then take the deck and place it back together. And then hand the deck to the spectator and ask them to fan through the cards until they get to their randomly marked position. So we can see that just here with their marker card. And then to take the next card after their marker card, not to look at it, but just to keep it safely on the side, because we'll get to that card shortly. From this point on, you're going to continue to make things as random as possible. So ask the spectator just to give the deck another shuffle. They can shuffle the cards as much as they like. You're now going to ask them to think of a number, but you want quite a large number, so say between 20 and 29, and just to think of that number. Now you're going to turn away so you can't see anything that's going on, and you're going to ask them to deal a number of cards to the table corresponding to the number they're thinking of. So let's say in this instance they're thinking of the number 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Now, they'll obviously do that quietly so that you can't hear. You're now going to ask them to add the 2 digits of their number together. So in this instance, 2 and 3 equals 5. And then to deal that many cards from the pack back onto the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That now gives us a pack here containing a totally random number of cards. You now want the spectator to make a random selection. So with yourself still looking away, you're going to ask them to cut a small packet of cards from this pack, up to say about 8 cards, but it's a totally free choice. So let's say they cut this many cards just here. Ask them to silently count their cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then to place those to the side. And now to count down in their pack and remember the card at the position corresponding to their number. So they've just cut off 6 cards. They'll count down to the 6th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they'll remember this card as their selected card. So we can see it's the 4 of spades. And then they'll just place the cards back like so. At this point, you can turn back around, and it's worth recapping just how random everything has been up to this point. We started with a shuffled deck from which a spectator dealt a random number of cards into a pack. Further cards have been cut from that pack, and now this pack contains a selected card at a totally random position. But you're now going to mix things up even further. You're going to take the pack and you're just going to give it a bit of a shuffle, just by mixing some cards from the top of the pack to the bottom, just like so, until you're happy that things really are totally mixed. There can be no doubt, there's no way that you can know the value of the selected card or the position of that card. But there is one easy, guaranteed way to find that card. Ask the spectator now to take the card that they selected right at the beginning of the trick, and to take a look at that card and to name the value of that card. So we can see it's a 7. They're now going to use that 7 in order to find their selected card. Ask them to take the pack and to deal 7 cards to the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then to deal the next card just here. For the first time now, you can ask the spectator to reveal the value of their selected card. Of course, it was the 4 of spades. And now you can reveal how this card right here, amongst all of the randomness, somehow just happens to be the 4 of spades. Okay, so let's take a look at the secret to this effect. Now for the first part of this trick, you just need the spectator to select a card that's a 7. Now obviously you can use any force that you like for that, but here's a really simple, self-working but convincing force that you can use. You start with the 7 on top of the deck, ask the spectator just to cut about half of the deck off, and then to mark the position with any upturned card like so. You can then take the bottom half of the deck and turn it over, take the top half of the deck, turn that over and place it onto the bottom half like so. Turn the entire deck over, and now the spectator can fan through until they get to their marker card, and then they can take the next card following the marker card, and of course that will be the original top card of the deck, in this instance the 7, and they can just place this aside until we need it later on. The spectator can now just think of a number between 20 and 29 and deal that many cards to the table. So let's say in this instance they think of 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 21, 22, 23, 24. They'll now add the 2 digits of their number together, so 2 and 4 equals 6, and just deal that many cards from the pack back onto the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The spectator will then cut off a packet of cards from the pack. Now you want to make sure this is no more than 8 cards, so emphasize a small packet, but it really is a free choice. They'll then count their cards, so 1, 2, 3 in this instance, and then they'll count down and remember the card at that position in this pack. So they'll count down to the 3rd card here, 1, 2, 3, and they'll remember that as their selected card. So we can see here we have the ace of diamonds. Now remember, all of that is being done whilst you're looking away. And you're now going to take the pack and say you're going to mix things up even further. But what you're actually going to do is just move 10 cards from the top to the bottom of the pack, and to do so without changing their order. So you can just fan off small batches of cards like so. So there's 3 and place those to the bottom, and then say another 3 and place those to the bottom. Say 2 cards, so that's 8 cards in total, and then another 2 cards for 10 cards. Now you can move the cards however you like, just need to make sure that you move a total of 10. With that done, the spectator can just reveal the card they selected right at the start, which is obviously a 7. You can ask them to deal 7 cards from the pack, 1, 6, 7, and place the next card just here. And this card right here will be the selected card. In this case, the ace of diamonds. As we conclude this tutorial, remember that learning magic can empower you beyond the cards. So what's the biggest benefit that you've gained from learning magic? How has it helped you grow? Share your stories in the comments and let us know how magic has made a difference in your life. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, keep the magic alive and take care.